What's up, what's up, what's up? Yet again, this is The Brick, the only show that builds basketball one brick at a time. And before we even tell you what's coming up, we got to do the tradition, because normally when I forget, Q gets mad at me, Juice gets mad at me. What we got here, Juice, you the man who brought this thing, it's the tradition. You talk about it, Q is going to pop it.
I call this the Italian job.
Oh, yeah, baby.
All black everything.
All black everything.
Dressed in black.
Black on black.
Very beautiful bottle of sparkling wine.
Q, pick it up, let's see it, man.
They call it Prosecco.
Hey, say it again.
Is it Prosecco?
Yeah, because it's Italian.
You're making it sound French, but it's Italian.
Prosecco. Scabby and Ray.
Wow.
Some sparkling wine, some nice sparkling wine coming into the country.
Look, the bottle is nice.
And listen, I'm enjoying. That's the first thing that caught my attention.
The bottle is beautiful.
So the packaging was definitely proper, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. And
We'll be sure to release our tasting notes, because this is lifestyle. I'll tell you what we pick up.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm not a big wine connoisseur, but let me tell you something. I saw this thing, I was like, it ain't Ace of Spades like when the other guy was here. But I can tell you something, this was a proper choice.
Oh,
Juice.
absolutely.
I'm hoping the taste live up to the look.
I've got my fingers crossed, because this is.
We want to hear it. Pa! We want to hear it. Whoa!
That's a proper pour.
Okay, and at least it doesn't go to waste like the other one. Ace of Spades is supposed to pour out. Apparently, when you pop, you gotta pour out.
And wow, no,
that's not how you pour.
So
Come on, man.
But Q went to good school. He's got it handled. Wow. But,
this is nice.
Wow, this is looking good.
For those who don't know, we are popping because even though Cape Town Tigers did not win it all, I think whatever that they've achieved is worth a celebration. And we've got a surprise guest later on in the show. We got Ra, co-owner of Cape Town Tigers, who's going to join us and tell us exactly how he feels about how the performance was out there in Rwanda, Kigali, and of course the upcoming tour in Paris and New York.
Of course.
Should be interesting. There's a lot to talk about.
There's so much to talk about. Before we do that, though, black on black, Prosecco.
The drinks.
Oh, it's nice to be off. It's also nice to be off for sabbatical. You know what I'm saying? It just tastes so much better.
Ooh.
There's no more guilt attached.
So wine connoisseur, tell us what you tasting there, man.
Listen, I'm tasting. Wait.
It's okay.
I love it.
Wow.
I can do this.
Very subtle and.
Very subtle.
It's not too dry. It's got a little bit of sweetness that comes through, and we can keep investigating. I think it's going to require a lot more sips to just get us to the place where we can facilitate.
I definitely wanna pat my back on this, because it's definitely a good bet that I made.
Well done, Juice.
So I'm definitely going to
11% alcohol,
this.
a little bit low on the percentage count.
Impressed.
All right. Let's get back to basketball, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, cheers to you, Ra, in New York. We'll get to talk about this and the congratulations. But for now, you're not here. So, hey, we're just going to sip this all alone. But just to let you know what else is coming up, we're going to be talking about the World Cup qualifiers. Yeah. It was happening right here in, well, not right here, but in Africa, of course,
3 different cities.
3 different cities. We're going to talk about the NBA free agency. There's a lot of money that's being thrown around. And of course, there's one of our own who might be partaking, the man that likes to say partake, in the Summer League with the team that Atatakumpo is playing for. So of course, the Bucks. Some very good links. Oh, yeah, and we could have had the guy that directed and obviously produced a movie, Rise, my man Akin Amutoso. Unfortunately, he's traveling to LA. And Rise is the movie and the documentary. What they call it when it's a documentary? But
biopic. It's a biopic.
Oh, look at that. I'm learning something. Biopic. He could have been here. Unfortunately, he's traveling to LA. It's really the life of Antetokounmpo and his brothers. And that would have been a beautiful link, talking about a guy from Cape Town Tigers going to play for the Bucks in the Summer League and all that. But of course, the big show, we got Ra, who we're going to end the conversation today with, talking about Paris tour and of course New York tour. And just like that, let's get into it. Q, tell us about what went down at the World Cup qualifiers.
Well, I think World Cup qualifier is really interesting, right? They're talking about it being in 3 cities. And one of the key takeouts, there's always talking points, doesn't matter. The first one, not so positive, and I think it's something that resonates with the South African basketball public, is so Mali went and got themselves across into their group play, and when they got there, decided that they were not going to play. They decided not to play because players had not been paid by their sports federation. And you kind of find it funny because, Mali, especially at junior level, they are top of the pops when it comes to African basketball. They made a World Cup final. They lost out narrowly to the United States. No. They continually win at under 16, under 18 guys and girls because they recruit top talent and they go out there and they beat everybody. It's sad to see this happen because I always wonder, and it's something that was always been a recurrent theme throughout our careers and my career and in African sport, is that players are always seeming, and it's not unique. Argentina, when they went to the Olympics with Manu Ginobili, the NBA guys footed the bill, right? It's something that does happen in world sport. It's just sometimes swept under the rug, but this is front and center. The players sat out to the point where they were forced to forfeit, because after you forfeit a second game, FIBA then forfeits you from the tournament outright. And this FIBA then forfeits you from the tournament outright. And then this has ramifications because on that basis, they then, as far as I understand it, and yet to be corrected, but they will possibly not be involved in international competition, just like Nigeria was supposed to be for the next 2 years. Now that's bad. It's bad for Malian basketball, especially when you look at what's happening. And when I just spoke about their junior programs, right? Because eventually those guys start to come through, and the first thing you want to get right is development, and then that happens. I guess since we're talking development, second theme has got to be South Sudan.
That's right.
They are undefeated.
Wow.
They are 6-0 in these World Cup qualifiers. They carry that into, there's now 2 groups, Group E and Group F, and that window will take place at the end of August. But here's a team that Luol Deng has come on in as the president of the South Sudan Federation, has upped his recruitment, started to go to Europe, a little bit in Australia, gotten some US prospects, and then some nice. We saw Pariet Wango played out for Cobra Sports South Sudan. He was part of that squad, but they've beaten everybody. They're undefeated. They're 6-0, and
it's a good story.
They take that into the next World Cup qualifying window. So they're top of the group, and there were only one team disqualified from the 4 groups or 4 teams. So the 12 teams will now go into their groups, but they keep their results. So you get rewarded for doing well. So that 6-0 record matters. It gives them a little bit of leeway. They can lose a couple of games, and they can still be in a good position to qualify in advance. It makes it a lot more interesting. Egypt were also pretty good, but those were my 2 primary talking points from those African World Cup qualifiers, and I think it's a thing. It's a thing. African basketball, especially with the Basketball Africa League, and especially with the qualifiers that we're seeing, it's a big deal, and we've got to try and figure out. Maybe there's a model that we don't know about, but it's recurrent. It's not unique to South Africa. It's not unique to Africa. It's actually a world sport dilemma. And I guess whoever figures it out first will probably, bring more happiness, because it feels like dark times. Well, in South Africa, it certainly is.
So you mentioned something about Kenya almost going through the same thing as Mali.
Oh, yeah. So the Kenyan team, right? They also did not almost make the trip. And as far as I understand it, they had to crowdfund. So they went along to investors and potential sponsors, and because the government and the sports ministry was not able to get them across, they didn't exactly have the team that they wanted, but they understand that representation is important, because they don't want to be excluded from any qualification processes that will then occur later on. And this is one of the primary things that I think will scare both Mali. But Kenya didn't qualify, but they did manage to get a team, and they forfeited their first game. Second games, they got beat out, but they're still part of the competition. But they also had the same problem. And they managed to get flights players out to the team without real preparation. So, you can't expect too much.
So I'm trying to solve the very problem that he's talking about. And I think we touched on it when Q had left us and was in Senegal. Yes. So maybe it's a conversation between me and a follow-up. Juice, we're in many different kind of groups trying to figure out basketball.
Yes.
And what I've always thought is the issue with basketball, probably in Africa, is two things. The fact that politically we are unstable, right? Politically we are unstable, and when you are talking about a sport that could potentially be an industry that could change, people's lives, potentially employing people, you find that it is not given the kind of support that government should be given. Correct. Because they are busy worried about floods and employment, like formal employment, and now in South Africa we worried about load shedding. I mean, how do you even start talking about let's play as opposed to let's survive? That's the first thing. The second thing is a big topic in the news is cadre deployment. You put people in positions because they're politically correct or they're politically aligned, yes, but they're not necessarily the best people for the job. And I think those two things possibly are one of the big factors that are detrimental to basically the world of sports in Africa in general. What's your view on that?
I think the first part is, for me, the sad part is, and I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago where we were talking about the BAL and the effect that the BAL can potentially have on the continent. Yeah. Where I mentioned how inspired would federations be now at the back of BAL to now do better, and to learn about countries that are literally forfeiting from World Cup qualifiers. BAL is just, we are a few weeks separated from it, but already it's going back to that lackluster behavior of, the classic stories that we've always heard about, payments and now here's a team that's making the efforts to get themselves to a tournament and participate. And kudos to the Kenyan team.
I think that's a good story.
It's a beautiful story.
It's a good
but
story.
It tells you just how far separated Africa is from the solutions. The solutions. And so for me, it's sad. A country like Mali, for example, the ladies team was, FIFA brought them in after they disqualified Nigeria from their national ban. The Malian ladies were put in there to take their spot. And then now, here's the male team that's also made the trip, but then now they decide, now we're not going to play. National pride and patriotism is very important, but again, you have to sympathize with them.
Support is everything.
They've gotten our attention. They've gotten the world's attention. They've gotten the continent's attention. But then now, what is Africa going to now continue doing and continue probing towards the solutions in all of this?
Here's a solution. What I believe must happen. There has to be an organization of private sector running Federation PTY Ltd, and those that are elected, they can run Federation NPO. And the two should have very clear mandates of exactly what it is that they must deliver. Big salaries in the PTY Ltd and stipends in the NPO, and you decide where you want to play. And that's really what it's about.
It might be time to talk brass tacks like that, and then you add and factor in, aspects of crowdfunding. So you bring in some digitization, some tokenization where, your community can then own a stake in your club. There are ways to monetize around it. And then you might have a reliable funding model because it and you've seen it. It's still a traditional model in sport. The community does run the team. The best teams in the world are still community-based.
Correct. We need facilities to start.
Yeah.
And you need government to pay for facilities.
And
government
and also a model where your fans go to the stadium. So walk-ins, that funding that you're spending on the jerseys, and you understand it. You know where
People love winners. People must start.
and you also know where your money.
competition.
You also know where your money comes from. Your money comes from that. It's the merch, your gate takings, your whatever else ways that you can figure out to help people feel like they are part of your club and your culture. And this again is where your great marketing mind can start framing some things around it. But that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway.
you look at things like English football. The worst team in England still fills up their stadiums because the home fans will always be there. Home fans are always buying merchandise, and you make a lot of revenue from that.
I mean, this becomes another large conversation. But
let's cut it right there.
Let's keep it positive.
That's right.
I'm going to do it because you want to do it, but it's fine. Because we have to talk about the first player who went across from the Basketball Africa League was Anas Mahmoud out of Zamalek, right? He played for the Toronto Raptors, and this year the only other player to make some headlines is our man Evans Ganapamo out of the Central African Republic.
That thing needs a drum roll, man. He's mentioning it as if like he's having a slice of bread. That thing is big news.
Ganapamo.
There you go.
I can do that too, but Evans Ganapamo, right? It's out of the Central African Republic.
Yes.
And Cape Town Tigers representative getting a look in and an opportunity to play for the Milwaukee Bucks in the up-and-coming Summer League. I think that's big news. It's big news for the Basketball Africa League. And in his own words, in the article that we saw on ESPN Africa, he said that he does not think he would have got the opportunity if he was not part of the Basketball Africa League. So, it is big news. Big news for Cape Town Tigers, big news for Evans himself, but also, it shows talent and platforms.
Correct.
Platforms matter.
Kudos to Ra and his organization. I think they've done well, but we'll touch base on that when we get to talk to him. But I think also something that must really be talked about is the fact that he's such a humble man. Most of the time, a lot of people are thinking, if you can play basketball, that's all you need. But it's a whole package. You got a guy that is a really good player, a guy that's humble, a guy that respects the game, the guy that loves the game, and well deserved to him. But what I wanted to find out from you, Juice, is some people might think we are saying he's going to be playing for the Bucks. What we're saying is he's going to be representing the Bucks at the Summer League that happens in Las Vegas. So do you want to explain that a little bit so that they actually understand what it means? It's not like it's a done deal.
So every preseason of the NBA, you've got teams that converge in Las Vegas. And this is where now some of the rookies and undrafted players are playing for different teams, because this is where some of your scouts are spending most of their time now to take a closer look at the players. In pre-draft, you might have your combines and everything like that. But at the Summer League, this is where now you get the actual factuals about guys and how their movements and how they.
So he was drafted into the team, and now they're seeing whether or not he's a fit.
So he was invited.
He was invited?
So think of it as a talent showcase.
Sure.
Right.
You want to evaluate and see how good a player is, but you also want to see how he plays in competition against other similar or even better talent. And so, because there's always people knocking on the door in the NBA, always, every single day. So this is just another great platform. It's some would say one step above the Basketball Africa League. I'm saying it's just the way it is. It's an additional platform where you can showcase your skill set, and coaches from both the franchise that is interested in him and the others can just have a look and see if he's worthy, or if they'd like to offer him a contract, or if he can even upgrade his own opportunity. So
he's not getting paid yet. He's just being spotted to say, "Come show us what you got."
Yeah. So it's like a tryout, because at the end of the day, he can still end up on any NBA team.
Got you. All right.
Or he couldn't, or he could just be in the Summer League, have it in his roster. Have it in his resume, which is still quite impressive.
Correct.
And it might help him upgrade a contract in Europe. It's just, it's a platform.
It's a great opportunity.
Look, I think Ryan will have something to say when we get to talk to him about it. Before we even jump into free agency, I just want to let you know that 3x3 World Cup went down in Belgium. Serbia is starting to really make noise in the world of basketball. I mean, we got the most paid guy in the NBA being Serbian. And I know I've got a friend who's Serbian, and he loves basketball, and he's so proud about his basketball peers out there. But the fact that 3x3 went down and they continue to win, what does it say about Serbia, man?
Serbian basketball culture is history. It is tradition. Have you ever been there? That's basketball country.
Yes.
Like, properly.
Absolutely.
So all it is continued excellence. So whenever you look back and you try to name some great players, or look back at proud basketball heritage, Serbia is definitely top.
So Marko Juric said if we put together a team, he'll sponsor a team to go play in Serbia. Are we scared or can we?
You would definitely be scared.
So as a masters there, come on.
When I say fear is taken in context, but understand that these are guys who are generally playing every day. They lived and breathed the game for way longer than we have. Every Serbian coach that has ever come across, and I'm going to say comfortably, that guy has more basketball knowledge in their pinky than I have in my entire body. You know what I'm saying? This is no joke. Yeah. And I think about it that way. Just the chance to go play out. There were some really great players. Even at our master's age, you will learn some things real quick. Yeah, I'll tell you that.
And it's a beautiful thing to see, from the Scandinavian countries, because you've got Serbia, you've got Slovenia, who now, Luka himself is, carrying the torch right now.
Lithuania, you have to mention
have
them.
always been, part of the conversation.
They went to the 3x3 finals against Serbia.
There you go. So, there you go. And that tells you part of the culture and, the heritage of the game in those countries.
Even in those European regions, then you use Greece, Turkey, the traditional powerhouses, Spain, and, it's tough.
Yeah.
Eurobasket is...
Absolutely.
Let me tell you something. So the reason why I'm talking about 3x3, right, is that I had a conversation when I was in Cairo. I had a conversation with the president of FIBA Africa, Mr. Oh my God, how can I even forget?
He's your guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, he said to me, "Look, Cabby, if you're gonna try and grow basketball in South Africa, you have to start with 3x3." And I've taken that on my shoulders, and I put up a video out there, and I said to people, "Hey, listen, we're going to be training 3x3. You want to be a part of it? You hit this link." We literally have 84 people who are really ready to start learning and helping putting together 3x3 events. So I think that's going to be big.
That's
3 days.
That's a great story.
In 3 days, 84 people. So kudos to everybody that has joined. So if you want to join, just hit the link on the brick, and that link is out there for anybody to join. And I think we're going to make it big. We already ordered a floor out of China. It's coming out, and the next big event is going to be in Melrose Arch, a venue that I've always looked at as one of the best 3x3 event, but it's probably going to be
open piazza.
Yeah, it's not going to be as big as I want it to be, but it's going to be a beautiful thing to see.
Wow. And 3x3 has been included in the Olympics. So
it is
that tells you the growth of the game and the trajectory,
That's right.
So definitely it's something that needs to be given as much attention as.
And here's a caveat: 3x3 was introduced so that the non-traditional countries could have a platform where they could try and play, but hey, there's Serbia serving it up, but nonetheless, it's still a great platform, and it's still entertaining.
Absolutely. And that's nice. We introducing under 12s, under 14, under 16, under 18, then open, and potentially masters in case you don't have a team when you play the masters. But that's a story for another day. I just thought it's a nice little thing. Tell us about. I
was saying we might want to start getting to raw a little bit.
Yeah, just a quick one on free agency. You guys talked about some players who are moving. Rudy Gobert. Potentially KD going back to the Warriors. There's things that could happen, but what are the things that are catching your eye in the NBA?
Apart from some of the max and supermax contracts that are being signed right now, you've got our guy, the Joker. He just signed a supermax contract of 264 million. 274, right?
Just to put it in context, it's $264 million. That is 1/10 of our energy problems in South Africa that ESCOM needs. Just so that people know.
So he can literally buy the country. Can he buy South Africa?
This is a non-political platform.
That's right.
I'm going to keep it sport oriented.
I didn't mean to disrupt.
And you've got some interesting names and movement. Some that are currently still speculated, but then I think the biggest shock as well has been the announcement by Mr. Kevin Durant that he will not be re-signing with the.
He wants a trade. That's not.
He wants a trade. Well,
he just signed a 4-year contract.
So he wants a trade from the Brooklyn Nets, and I know Ra might have something to say about that because 718. But yeah, there's some interesting moves, and we continue to monitor that throughout the social media and the news.
Apparently, well, according to Ra, who will be joining us in a sec, apparently he might be looking at Phoenix or Heat, yet another big club where he just plugs in and wins. I don't know if that's good legacy for him, but I suppose nowadays it's all about the ring, right?
Well, I mean, Shams was talking about it. That's the NBA Inside Report, and what he said is that more than likely both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant might start the season for Brooklyn. They might not finish it, but might take them the entire summer to sort this thing out.
Yeah.
I think it's a stain on his legacy, if you really ask me, but that's a deeper conversation.
Of course.
It doesn't take away from his ability as a basketball player, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens out of all of this, where he actually does end up going, and how they try and spin this, because I don't see too many spins. Steph Curry, just what he did was rewrite history and change the narrative around KD with his 4th title pickup, and it's just going to make for more compelling viewing next season, because all of these guys who are coming back from injury as well. We talked about Supermax. We'll see how Zion, if he can come and justify that value, because I thought that was crazy. I thought it was a crazy contract, but nonetheless, he's there. He is. You can't give away generational talent, and we'll just wait and see. Should be nice. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
And of course, the Lakers fans were hoping Durant and Kyrie Irving might end up there with LeBron, but come on now.
They have in terms of cap space.
That ain't happening anytime
Too much
soon.
on their books there.
Anyway, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've touched on all the things we're supposed to touch on, but the most important interview right now is having Ra join us. Yo, Ra, we don't even have to go to break on this one. Is Ra here? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can't hear Q and Juice too much.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Just for you, we'll pass on the mic like what people do when they puff pass. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. What's up, fellas?
What's good, my brother? Looking good out there, with your BAL hoodie. I love it.
You see, I gotta represent the team and the league. I was gonna say my team, but it's our team, man. I gotta represent our team, our country. I'm an honorary citizen now, SA. I got a ton of SA people here in New York waiting for the team to get here, like a ton, like 1,000 of them. So wow. It's about to be on.
Well, first things first, Ra. Let me congratulate you. And unfortunately, you're not here to come and share. Well, since you're not here, oh, shame. Look at Juice. He's a fast drinker. He doesn't even have a drink. Congratulations to you, to us, to the entire organization, to South Africa, to everything that you guys have done with the Cape Town Tigers. How do you feel about that, and what does it feel like to have gotten where the Tigers got to, irrespective of what everybody believed was going to happen?
Well, first of all, thank you guys. You've been rolling with me, from the start, and I appreciate that genuinely. But I'm kind of conflicted, actually. I felt like we left so much on the table, but understanding the sport, understanding pros, it's like, wow, what we've done was amazing. But honestly, we left a lot on the table, man. Like, the goal was to win it all. I can't say we would have won it all, but an 80% Tigers team playing how I've seen those guys play together, we beat that U.S. Monster team. I don't know about the rest of the games now. I can't say that. But that one game, playing how I've seen these guys play together and, sharing the ball and movement, we win that game. So, I feel like we left so much on the table. But you look at, like the qualifiers now, you see the big guy from Egypt, from the Egyptian team that we played. He's playing now. Like, all of them are still playing. No one in South Africa is playing. We don't have anywhere to play. So while these guys are playing in their top-notch leagues, we're fighting for spots to practice in Cape Town. So that's a big reason for the tour, not just for marketing. I want to get our core guys battle tested. Like, we don't have people coming to us to play, and this the model that I took when I was a kid. Wherever I heard the best players were, I got on my bike and went to their park. And I went to see. You know what? They say you're the best. I'm gonna find out. So that's the same model I'm gonna take with the team. We're about to go to everybody's park, and we have our own little park situated here in New York City. That's gonna be our home court. So we're about to go see and get everybody battle tested. You know, you can't simulate that adrenaline, that crowd, the 5 seconds left for the shot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the guys in the fire. Let's see how we do here, and we're gonna bring that back over to the continent and get ready for ball.
All right. I mean, that leads into the next question, Ra. With regards to where the Cape Town Tigers are now, we heard some rumors up here about issues with the Cape Town Super League, but still have the ambitions to come back year two and run it back and try and replicate or even improve in year two.
Oh yeah, we're there. We had a couple of things that we had to clear up with the Super League situation, and you know they didn't know that we had some paperwork that we had and some signatures that we had already in our back pockets. So, you know, then they had a changing of order at the top, and the young lady there, Faye, oh man, she was amazing for us. Like it was the first time really in Cape Town for anyone in CTBA that I felt like was just genuinely from the start, like, yo, listen, no, we're gonna help. We're gonna get everything going. We're gonna do this. You know, when I met with Jason one-on-one, it was really cool. But Faye was amazing. We already spoke about it. We gotta send her like a gift basket or something, just to thank her, just for being cordial and being on top of things. You know what I mean? Like not going extra or out of her way, but just not trying to stop us, you know? So that was a pleasant surprise. So we're locked and loaded. We getting the schedule. They're having problems scheduling gyms or whatever. So that works out for us because we'll be in Paris and New York. So when we're back, and we're going to play. We're going to be fully loaded.
So, so I know the plan has always been win it all. But once again, I want to take my hat off to you to say, for a first year of full-on competition, and you guys getting to as far into the competition as possible and as far as you got, those are big achievements. And I want to say hats off to you and your team, because I cannot imagine the sacrifice that had to be done in the back end, and to see now where you guys are in terms of the movement now globally, taking the game, you know, to every park possible. So how did this come about that you say, okay, now we're going global, we're going on tour, and who are you taking on tour?
Well, I felt like from the start we've had that plan. You know, it was in the business plan, it was in the deck. It's what I've been preaching to everyone, because first of all, New York City is the mecca of basketball. We'll be remiss if we didn't take advantage of who BJ, William McFarland, and who I am when it comes to New York City basketball culture, right? I was a Nike athlete. BJ was a Nike athlete. I've actually, since I stopped playing, I've done a ton of stuff for Nike as far as grassroots and growing the sport and growing other agendas that they had in other countries. So I saw how they did it. Like they planted the seed, and literally 5 years, 6 years later, it was like, wow. So, you know, that was the first thing. BJ played in France a few years, and he's really tight with Amadou that runs the Qua. You know, that Qua 54 is the biggest summer league tournament in Europe. Not just in France. It's the biggest thing moving in Europe. So as soon as I knew he had that connection, I said, hey, listen, we have to play in this. So this was the plan actually last year. But then all the qualifying games happened, and they didn't know when we was going to play, and then COVID stopped, and so we couldn't commit to anything. You know what I mean? They actually wanted us to play in TBT also. And that's, I don't know if people know, that's like a money basketball tournament. I think the purse is like $2 million, and they play on ESPN. So this was always the plan, right? To be the first professional basketball team outside of the NBA that's viable on 3 different continents. We have the infrastructure, we have the clout, we have the rep, we have everything to do it. We just got to show up. really. So it's always been the plan. So I'm happy. I'm really happy for the SA guys. You know what I mean? I don't know if Lebo or Nati 4 years ago or Little Ben thought that basketball would take them to Paris or to New York City. You know what I mean? I'm happy that I'm able to help facilitate that.
Well, let me tell you something, man. When I heard Paris and New York is on a lineup, I was like, all right, since the break, I was like, all right, let me go see if I can get that Schengen visa going. I already got a 10-year visa to go to New York. You know, the U.S. visa. I'm ready, man. So I'd like to say congratulations to the Tigers. And I'm the #1 fan bringing the brick. We'll be bringing all the action from the inside Cape Town Tigers, man. I am so excited about this. I can't wait. Flying out on Thursday. And everybody who follows the break, of course, you'll be hearing it from us. But how did you select which ones of the local players are worthy of going versus everybody that we've seen play for the Tigers?
Well, before I answer that question, what I would tell you, Cabby, is because I know how much of a basketball fan you are. What you're about to experience, you've never been a part of basketball atmosphere like this. I can guarantee you that. So let me say that. And then how I selected the guys. The only one that I actually wanted to go that's not going is our captain, Peter Prinsloo, because of the visa issues. So other than that, I wanted to bring people that's been loyal to the organization, people that I know work extremely hard. You know, some games, Lebo or Ben may play 3 minutes. Some games they play 20 minutes. Some game, you know, it's just how the temperature of the game is going. It's how the flow is going. There's no set time, you know, and they have still come in there, worked extremely hard. They have gotten so much better. Nati has gotten better. Not as much as the other guys really, because Nati joined the team when we was already in the fire. You know, we didn't have all the extra skill training to get with him. Like if he was with us from the jump, oh man, I'll be afraid to see what the dude looks like now. And he actually surprised me under fire in those games. I was like, wow, like Nati is really, you know. So I wanted to bring these guys, the SA guys that I feel like are the core guys of our team, right? No issues, no problems, no attitudes. You don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about arguments. You don't have to worry about nothing with them. All they want to do is play basketball, get better, represent the country. So for me to decide who was going to go was actually easy. It was easy.
So here's a question. When you look back now and you've got hindsight as a tool, yeah, and you know, and you've had a fairly successful season. When you look back, what do you think some of the biggest lessons you've learned were, maybe just in terms of the organization and in terms of team construction?
What I've learned, I think the construction of the team was done appropriately. I think we just didn't have enough games, like high level games, to get everyone in order. And then we brought Anthony on late. So he was trying to get acclimated to the guys, to the personality. He's never been to Africa. And then other than that, I think I could have helped guys manage not only expectations, but what was going on better. You know, because from some guys, and I'm talking about players to coaching staff, some guys went from literally no name, nothing in the basketball world in SA to the pinnacle. Like that. And, you know, when I think back at some of the things that happened or some of the arguments or what was going on, you know, when I take myself out of the situation, I'm like, yo, how else are they supposed to feel? Like they've never been a part of something like this. You know what I mean? Like it's never been done. They're the first generation in the country to really go. So, you know, I can imagine all the emotions, the fears, the insecurities. And I think I should have probably done better with helping them through that and managing them through that instead of sometimes pushing some of those guys away. And again, I'm talking about players, coaches. You know, Cabby, you know, was with us on the inside a lot, so he's got to see a lot of the things. And I've tried. I really tried to, but you know, me being a leader, I feel like I should have done a better job because if it doesn't happen to its totality, it falls on me first, I feel. So that's something going into this second season that I'm really mindful of and I'm really going to push more of to make sure that, you know, I help everyone through the process, you know. So that's something definitely I'm going to change.
So here's a quick two. One of my favorite rappers, who also happens to be one of your homeboys, Sky Zoo, he says, "Ain't nothing like summer in New York." So, what are some of the plans on what's some of the things that are on the itinerary for when the guys get there? And also, is your homeboy Homicide gonna get on the court and bust some people up while they're over there?
Core not gonna play, but he's gonna come. He's already hit me like, yo, Rob, I already heard about it. Send me the schedule. He's so let the cat out the bag. We have a welcome to New York dinner and a Q&A at a beautiful location in Brooklyn, New York. The area is called Dumbo, New York. The location is Dumbo House. It's a part of the Soho House train, the Soho House brand. So I set up, it's not even a dinner. I set up a braai for us. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I set up a braai. So we're going to have a braai on the rooftop of the Soho House. We're going to have a Q&A going on. I have a really good friend. He's like a little brother of mine. He has a talk show on ABC. I mean, this guy interviews everybody from Denzel Washington to Oprah to he was actually on Barack Obama's campaign plan and helped Barack win. He raised money for Barack, so he's going to interview us. So we have that going on. I have another former client of mine that's a really good friend who started a business. It's like a roller coaster ride. It's a virtual roller coaster ride in the middle of Times Square, and it's called Rise NY. So you put on the glasses, and it takes you through the coolest parts of New York City during the best times of the year. So it feels like you're flying over the Macy's Day Parade. It feels like you're flying under the Brooklyn Bridge, Times Square. You're going through Times Square during New Year's Eve. And then when you get to Brooklyn, I actually make a guest appearance in Brooklyn, playing 3-on-3 in the park with some of my friends in the ride. So that's one of the things. We have another dinner at a very popular spot here called Teranga. They do jollof, Senegalese chef. One of our partners is Senegalese. The newest member to the team is Senegalese. So I thought that would also be nice. You know, it's a Senegalese chef. We're gonna go get some jollof rice. Aside from the games, we have a night out at a spot out here that we're gonna take the guys to have fun. A little nightclub lounge situation, Tao nightclub. So, you know, just to let them, you know, get that whole New York feeling going. And then, yeah, that's basically it. We have a couple initiatives we're going to bring out. I'm trying to get one of my buddies, have like 200, 300 kids to come out, you know, work with the kids a little bit before the games. So we have some full days here, but I just want to get them little touches and little bits and pieces of New York City, you know?
That is absolutely amazing. I can't wait for the tour. Like literally, I'm ready. I'm ready for the tour. And if you need
packed
a man,
already,
I'm
huh?
ready too. I told you I was going to work on my game. That's juice. I've been killing it on the court, man. You know. So this is what I'm saying, right? So when we get to Paris and you need a man, I'm your man. But if we never get to play, there's this thing that we spoke about when we were in Kigali. You know, the big tournament that's coming up here in South Africa is the Samba tournament. We got a whole lot of teams that are that are signing up, and it's going to be amazing. And I know you said you're going to be around, and we've put together 2 teams with the young legends, and I know you've been to Slaughterhouse, and you know how tough it can be out there.
And I'm ready. I'm ready. You already know. They don't know yet, though, but you already know, so I'm ready.
He's part of he's part of the team, man. You know, we got young legends 46ers. Absolutely. We got young legends 46ers. You're going to be in the team. Anybody that's in front of us, and maybe we should play against some of the a special match. I think I'd like to put together a special match between us, the 46ers, Young Legends 46ers, and the Prudential, that's the Angolan team that's coming out that is being crazy, beating everyone. And I think the last time they beat us by 7 in PE, and they beat the Devon team, I think, by 30 or 40 points. So you can see when they were playing us, it wasn't an easy game. But with you there and the guys that are playing there, I think we're gonna hold it down.
Listen,
so I'm gonna
make that
happen.
Years old also?
Huh?
How old is the other team?
They're going to be playing in the 30 to 39, but we're going to be all right.
Oh, we're going to be more than all right.
Let me tell these guys something, right? So fellas, let me tell you something. Every time when we're in Egypt and Kigali, before the practice, it would be us, like the coaches, just playing 2-on-2, 3-on-3, and of course, one of the coaches the back just couldn't handle it, and it would be Ra, Vince versus me and Elvis. Man,
they had subs too. They had the liaison, which is Charles Oakley's nephew from the NBA, on their team also. So they used to make subs.
Let me tell you, this man can play. So everybody else thinking, yeah, whatever, he must talk the talk.
He's from Brooklyn.
Look, Rob, they say game recognized game. I recognize your game, so I love the fact that you will be playing for the team.
Shorty. Don't worry about it.
But let me tell you, the first game, I surprised them. I was this guy. Everybody's asking what's going on here, and I was like, "Yeah, man, let's go kick ass, get the hell out." They lost that game. We lost a whole lot more after that, but
listen,
it was a surprise.
Listen, they don't know. Juice. I went back to the hotel that day upset. I said, listen, I can't believe I let these guys beat me. I said, oh, listen, I told Vince, I said, no more. I don't care who is on our team. I don't care who we got. It don't matter. We're not losing anymore to these guys.
That was a little surprise for you. Apparently, you've been winning all the games in Cape Town. KP shows up and you lose your first.
Lose the first one. Oh, man. But we beat them a couple 7-zips, 6-zips. We really got at them a lot of times.
They knew what time it is.
Listen, Juice, it was to the point Elvis and the NBA liaison was forgetting their sneakers at the hotel on purpose. They was like, oh, we can't play today. We don't have anything to play. And the CABBY was just like, damn.
Beautiful, beautiful talk about basketball. We could go on forever and ever, but you know what? The culture continues. When we're in Paris, when we're in New York, we're doing this thing, and we continue to do it. Yo, Rob, man, it was really, really great to have you around. And I tell you, we're going to be doing these interviews, telling people exactly what's going on. And whatever that went down in, like the presentation that you shared, the Q50s. You say it's K, right? Is it K54?
Qua 54.
Qua 54. Look, the deck that you shared with me, I shared it with the guys. Man, that thing looks amazing. If anything, if there's one thing that I want to experience, is exactly that. And that's the reason why I decided, you know what, this is something that I got to experience. Doesn't matter where I have to go and steal money. I think I did a bank robbery the other day, and I'm going. So, fellas. Yeah, but you know what? If they want me, I'll be in Paris, so they can come through. Thanks for the invite, and thanks for bringing so much excitement to basketball in South Africa and the experiences that you're giving these young guys in South Africa, and of course the American guys. Who in America is coming? Who from the team, or are they new guys, or is the team as we know it?
Yeah, so what I did, I had to add some more guys, and it was actually guys that we've been in conversations with throughout the year that we were thinking about bringing. So I was like, you know what? It's a chance for me to see them. Billy is coming. Evans was coming. Evans was actually really excited about playing in the tournament. But as you know, he's with Milwaukee right now. we have some really good young talent. We have a couple guys that was like Knicks G League team. We have some guys that floated in and out the NBA. We have some really good talent coming to play.
So we winning that. We winning that, right? In Paris,
you already know. You already know what I'm going for. I'm not taking a 6-hour flight just to hang out. I'm going to win.
And anything you want to say about even Ganapamo? I mean, obviously, you know, you recognize that talent. You put him where you put him, and look at him now. I mean, I think that's a big story for South Africa.
Well, I helped put him where he is now. Evans is a consummate pro. He works hard. He listens to everything I said. He followed the game plan. I thank him for trusting me, you know, because when he first met me and what he was hearing and maybe this or maybe that, and he didn't know, and I sat him down and I spoke to him straight up. And I said, listen, this is what's going on. When he went home for December, I gave him a list of things to get better at. He came back, got better at all of them. So then now once I was able to see that, I was like, you know what, this kid may have a shot. He's like 26, 27. I said, but you never know, he may have a shot. Then, you know, even from before BAL was saying, hey, listen, we're going to try to push someone for the league, I have around 7 to 8 friends that's either general managers, assistant GMs, or assistant coaches in the league. I contacted all of them for Evans. All of them. I was like, listen, this is the guy you need to see. He could play. And, you know, these guys, like, I know them personally, right? Like, they get to New York, they hit me like, yo, Rob, where you at? What you doing? So they know if I'm saying this guy could play, they could play. You know, so I'm so happy for Evans. I'm so proud of Evans. And no matter what happens, people don't know how hard it is just to make that practice team. But it's to make the practice team at 27 years old when you were never on an NBA radar, man, it's our time. That's what I told people. It's our time. So anything we touch, anything we push forward, we know the heart and the spirit is clear. We actually doing it because we want to help and it's our time. It's going to happen. And Evans is just another example of it.
My sons were really excited about Ganapamo going to potentially have a shot at the NBA, and I think that's what resonates with a lot of kids around South Africa. So thank you for everything that you've done for South African basketball. And that's a wrap for me, ladies and gentlemen. This is Q, this is Juice, and this is how we say goodbye to Ra. And yeah, man, congratulations and amazing wins, a lot of wins for Cape Town Tigers. And yeah, we'll see you in Paris. I'll be out on Thursday.
Yeah, man, pack enough clothes, brother. All right, I got some plans.
All right, yo, for those who know it, this is the break. Building basketball one brick at a time. And just so that out of respect, the man that I was talking about when I say the African president, FIBA Africa president, is Anibal Manave from Mozambique. So I can never forget that name. We've done a lot of stuff with that man. So, hey. Yo, Rob, thank you so much. We'll see you in Paris.
Hey, did you tell them guys that we bringing BAL to Cape Town? Oh, did you? Oh, no. My bad.
Hey.
That's for the next episode. I see you guys
That's something we're still talking about. But yeah. You know, peace. The break. See ya.
All right, man.
Take